Thank you, and thank you for your patience. Lunch with Legends is on the air live from the Lunch Counter Garage. Jeff Severson, the Singing Safety, is with me.
You got to have a gimmick, you know, you got to have the nickname, something that sticks, you know.
Yeah?
And it's so corny, but it did stick.
What's that, Lunch with Legends?
You know, I was playing for the Oilers, and I was doing some commercials for him, and this guy says, Severson, the Singing Safety, has got a good... I said, man, that's corny, but it stuck.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
Kind of like spaghetti on the wall in Kevin Valinsky's house.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah. So I just want to thank you for joining us again. Good to see you, man.
Good to
Always
see you,
to
my
see
man,
you.
Lew Stowers.
Yeah.
And congratulations on your show. I hear
Thank
it's going
you.
to be a big success.
Well, from your mouth to God's ear. I want to thank Magnolia Street Productions for joining us today, and Tim Greenwood supplying all the cameras and the beautiful production studio in a box. He has got a whole production truck, and it's in a box at the end.
This is
Impressive.
top of the line, top of the line.
Impressive. And also joining us today is going to be Rodney Allen Rippy.
Great guy.
Absolutely. And we have Vern, the singing attorney.
Vern Schooley, yeah.
Yeah. And Tom, the upholstery headliner guy.
Yeah.
And,
everybody.
And Kevin Valinsky, who is...
associate producer, huh?
Yeah. At least that's what he called himself. We have some news to get out of the way, some things to get out of the way first. Rodney Allen Rippy is coming on to tell us about the 2017 Automotive Arts and Technology Expo, and that's going to be Friday, September the 8th. It's my brother's birthday. Happy birthday, Larry, and he's a trucker, so I'm sure that he would love to hear about this. Yeah. So Rodney's going to be on telling us about that, and okay. William Kidston, who's everybody's favorite red carpet photographer, and has made enemies out of everybody in Hollywood. And the Hot Wheels artist is going to be there, and so who knows? And if you went there, you could probably have your head drawn in that Hot Wheels there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, all right.
It'll be a nice affair. That's
going to be a terrific event. Also coming up, Lunch Counter Garage really supports drag racing, and the Hot Rod Association reunion is going to be somewhere around here, the Famoso Raceway in Bakersfield in October. So go out and see that, and I'm sure you could go to nhra.com to find out where all of that is going. And then another event, a lady that is very close to our hearts here, Laura Herzog, who runs the Honoring Our Fallen.
Oh, and look at that car. Look at that Willys Jeep.
That's right. And this is actually a painting, a graphic of the car that is here in the Lunch Counter Garage. Yeah. And it's a real living Jeep that's been painted like that. And we came up with this idea for Cruise Honoring Our Fallen. Gosh, is it going to be in its 5th year already? Wow. And it's the big fundraiser and charity car show, poker run, and cruise. So come on out for that, and that's going to be in Long Beach at the Long Beach Marina. So they're changing the venues there. So
we'll be
right
there,
around, so real close
and
to.
What a great venue to have this.
Yeah,
Lou. I mean, Rick Lorenzen, all these cars to be able to have this little show and do it right and experience the history of all these great automobiles. Reminds me of that car I used to have. It was trying to sell it. It was a Rolls Canardly. It rolls down one side of the hill and Canardly roll up the other side.
Oh my gosh! All right.
Bada bang.
Yeah, you got a rim shot there.
I don't know if you do rim shots on guitars.
I can do it on my head, but I don't want to knock myself out. But it's a little bit of marbles rolling around there. So what are you doing these days? A star of North Dallas 40, one of the many stars coming out of that movie. And
yeah, I was under Nick Nolte's armpit for about 2 hours. That was a lot of fun. But no, Nick was a great guy. He's a good athlete. And I thought Mac Davis did a good job capturing the role. Of course, it was the first time a movie depicted what really, some of the things that go on behind the scenes in the NFL. And I saw all those things happen, but I didn't see it in 1 week. I saw it over the course of a 9-year career. But we actually got kicked out of Dallas when we started filming that.
Oh, no kidding.
Tom Landry didn't want us there, so we shot a lot of it. In fact, a lot of it was shot at Long Beach, Blair Field, where the old Rams used to practice.
Yeah, and where Doug Kukorian got chased around by Butch Robertson.
Isaiah Robertson.
Now, were you on the Rams when that happened?
No, not that was in the earlier days, but Yeah, I could see Isaiah doing it, and I could see Krikorian instigating it. So, but it was kind of
Absolutely.
neat, growing up in Long Beach. I was born in North Dakota, and I think that's where the country music thing came in, Lou. And when we came to
Now, you were born with that hat on, right?
my mom's got pictures of me with hats and guns and everything to this day. But when we came to California, I think the Midwestern thing kind of stuck with me in the music. And going to Wilson High, the Rams are across the street.
Right.
George Allen, the Pearson Foursome, Roman Gabriel, Myron Patios, Pardee, all the guys that 4 years later I would get to be teammates with when I got drafted by the Redskins when George Allen left the Rams. So that was a great experience to meet all those guys. And I'd never been east of the Mississippi, so to be drafted by the Redskins. Nixon used to come out to the field. That was a surprise.
They used to draw plays for Coach Allen, right?
He drew one that didn't work too good. that's why George had him impeached.
Was it 18 minutes?
It was a
blank?
reverse to Roy Jefferson, is what it was.
Oh no!
But no, that was a great year because the Redskins hadn't won in years and years and years. And George came there, and if you played for George Allen, you'd win at least 70% of your games. And that was his career, and it made him into the Hall of Fame. And I thank him for drafting me because it started a 9-year career. I tell people, I said I got drafted by the Redskins, which are now in Maryland, got traded to the Houston Oilers, which are now the Tennessee Titans, got traded to the St. Louis Cardinals, which are now the Phoenix Cardinals, and then to the LA Rams, which are now in St. Louis and now back in LA. So all my memorabilia's got some value to it.
Yeah, that Houston Oilers. I love that logo and the song, Oilers, Houston Oilers.
Yeah. It was a chance to get to play more, mostly special teams and nickel with the Redskins, and then I got to start. And I remember my first game as a starter, picked off Norm Snead at Yankee Stadium.
Wow.
So, and then I got one from, I was showing Rodney Allen Rippy, I got one from Staubach on Monday Night Football with the Cardinals. He was, Staubach hadn't thrown an incomplete pass in about 200 passes, and the singing safety got him.
Look it down there. The singing safety picks off Roger Staubach.
He said, my name's Jeff Severson, and Cosell said Severson, and my dad called NBC. Hey, it's Severson,
I used to get those calls all the time.
It's really interesting in today's era of being a veteran, retired player. We get so many emails every day from the alumni and all those different groups that we support, Players Association, et cetera, with all that's going on with the concussion thing and all that stuff. But I think, and I tell people that we all knew the liabilities of playing football. I mean, you just look in the newspaper every day and read the guys that are injured. But in those days, they just said, you came off hazy and daisy and stuff, and they said, how many fingers? How many fingers am I holding up? 4. He says, that's close enough. Get back in there. And that was
some dirt on it.
That was the problem, that they didn't really diagnose or care to diagnose what was going on with the brain and the injury. So,
well, plus the helmets are a lot better now than they were then.
Yeah, but the guys are bigger, faster, stronger, and I mean the players nowadays are something else. I mean,
God, they're freaks.
Yeah.
They're in a good way.
Yeah.
And I used to tell Jack Snow that. I said, just you and me here, you guys are freaks. But when we're out there in the field and I'm talking to the guys or we're watching them, I say, you guys are real special.
Yeah.
And they are.
Jack Snow had a great pair of hands.
Oh.
I mean, he had a great Roman Gabriel to Jack Snow. That was fabulous. And of course, Gabriel is back in Carolina and really one of the great quarterbacks of all time. I think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He was MVP of the league in '69 and also a comeback player with the Eagles. So.
Yeah, he was terrific to watch, that's for sure. And if you're watching us live on Bid Chat, you can chime in. When you bid to chat with Jeff Severson, don't call him Severson or his dad will get ticked, and me, then the money will go to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So just want to let you know that. So what was it like playing for, God, talk about Hall of Fame coaches. You had George Allen, then you had Bum Phillips there in Houston.
Corey Allen with the St. Louis
Cardinals.
Cardinals, and then we finished with Malavasi after George Allen
Right.
had been fired in '78. Malavasi took over and took him to the Super Bowl 14. So,
Right, yeah.
but people ask about George Allen. I said, if George Allen would run this showroom, or if he run Xerox, he run IBM, he would be successful. He never left a stone unturned. I learned more football from him in my 2 or 3 years there than I did with the rest, because he was a detailed defensive coach. He wanted veteran players, and a lot of people said, Jeff, you're going to the wrong place. He doesn't like rookies. But we worked hard, and I learned a lot of good football. His family is still close to this day. They're all successful. Bruce is, of course, the president of the Washington Redskins, so he stays in touch. And
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
So that,
But great defensive coach. I remember one time we're playing Dallas, and we had a tip on Calvin Hill. When he put his right hand down, he would go left to take the handoff. He put his left hand down, he would go right. And George, I had picked up on it because he was always looking for a tip-off or a tendency.
sure, yeah.
So he held the plane up while we're flying to Dallas to check out this deal, and he beat Dallas more than any coach in the.
Well, that was a huge rivalry.
Oh,
back in
huge.
the
He
day.
hated the Cowboys. That Roger Staubach, who's America's team? What do they call him? America's team? Beans. So, but Washington D.C. was a great place to be a player at, because they embraced the team so well, and especially when we had a winning season. I remember when Vern Schooley came back, he had skis and everything, and he couldn't believe we're sitting at a table and people coming up, and he jumped right in there as a celebrity with the rest of the group. But,
Well, he is a celebrity.
Great fun. He is.
Yeah.
Very successful attorney.
Yeah.
Patent attorney.
Patent attorney. Wow. Well, I got a lot of ideas that are
He might even
sitting
call
in
in
the
and
garage.
donate.
Why not? Why
Really?
not?
Yeah.
So now you're concentrating on your musical career, or is it
Yeah,
just something to keep you busy and, and off the streets?
We did the real estate thing in the off season, and now the.
Yeah, let's chat about that a second, because in those days you probably had to supplement your income
Yeah.
with something else. I mean,
Yeah.
Merlin Olsen hired a lot of the guys
Yeah.
with his car dealership.
I felt, I'd save my money up during the year. I'd come back and I started buying income properties in the Long Beach area. Saw how lucrative that was in the 70s. I got my license, then we put partnerships together and buy property, and then all of a sudden you look back and it's 30 years later, and those properties are paid for, nearly paid for, and it was a good thing to do. I mean, I worked hard. I didn't sit on my rear end, and I didn't throw my money away on stupid things. But I was a little bit lucky and a little bit timely and everything by doing that. And it's because I wanted to have something when I got older and pass on to my daughter and my grandkids. So that was fun. Then they drugged me into the movie business. We did Semi-Tough and North Dallas 40 and
Drug you in, huh?
drug me in. Yeah, Tom Fears, the great. He called me up for the Semi-Tough, and then I had about a 15-year run there. Nothing like Rodney Allen Rippy, but we did
No, that's true.
commercials and TV shows. Laverne and Shirley, Simon and Simon. Did a soap opera for a year, and The Best of Times, which
Who
is
were you? Were you like one of the Quartermains, or
in Best of Times.
No, in the soap opera. Was
Oh,
it?
I was a suave attorney that hustled all the girls.
Well, you still are kind of. You're not an attorney, but
No,
you're the singing safety. That,
it was a lot of fun, and it gave you your meat and potatoes for acting, because every day you had to. How long is this script going to take? And that was fun. It was called A New Day in Eden with Jack Wagner was on that show. If you
Oh,
remember
okay,
Jack.
yeah.
Really nice guy, and he's had a good career, but it was a lot of hard work. Then you go, you do a movie, and you sit all around all day to do 3 minutes of film. So,
Wow.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but it's a crazy business. It's a crazy business.
Tom Fears was is a Hall of Fame receiver. Was a Hall of Fame
Yeah.
receiver. Head coach for the New Orleans Saints, and he and his wife lived in Huntington Beach, I believe.
Wonderful man.
Yeah, great guy.
Yeah.
His wife was a great gal.
Yeah.
And
In fact, Billy Kilmer, the quarterback from the Redskins, told me that had it not been for Tom Fears, his career would have been over because he got hurt in San Francisco, broke his his ankle in a car accident, and then Fears gave him a new life. And Billy was such a competitor, and that's why George wanted him so bad with Washington. Sonny Jurgensen gets hurt, and Billy comes in and does a great job. So it was a great time to be a Redskin. Yeah.
That's sure. Just all the planets kind of aligned that year.
Yeah.
That was fun to watch. Although the Super Bowl was still fun.
Yeah.
To watch. You guys got to play for you at home.
Right.
A lot of the guys that were with the Rams went over to the Redskins.
Right. The over the hill game.
Right.
Or the Ramskins, they call them.
But that was fun having them come back.
It was fun. And those guys were veteran players. They took me under their wing, and I said, "Man, why are you guys being so nice?" And they said, "Well, we like you. We want to show you the ropes." And that's the key. You have a veteran team like that teaches the younger players how to advance and learn the all the nuances of the pro game as opposed to the college game. But that was a and I think if you ask any football player, Lou, they'll all say, what did you like about playing professional football the most? They say the guys, the personality.
Oh yeah. That's working with the Rams and broadcast crew in the 90s. The most fun I had was after lights out.
Yeah.
All you players were tucked into bed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and all the old timers who used to come and that's one thing that the Rams did. They took care of the old timers. Guys like Harry Thompson, Tank Younger, Jack Snow, you name it. They were on the trip, and cigars, cigarettes, coffee, and jokes.
And I must tell you, the Rams have reached out to all the ex-players. We went to practice and watched them a couple weeks ago and watched them scrimmage the Chargers, and they've got a great staff. They're really trying to build that LA market and reaching out to some of the ex-players, which is good. Yeah.
So. And now you've got the Chargers also. So
what do we got? 19 years we got no team in LA, and then now we got two teams, and one's got to play at the StubHub and the other
soccer center.
Yeah, and the Coliseum. But this new stadium for the Rams is going to be something special.
Yeah. So that's right in Inglewood there, right next where Hollywood Park used to be.
Yeah.
I feel like I paid for half of it, but
Hostile Beast in the fifth race. Yeah. Go man, go.
Yeah, still coming around that clubhouse turn.
Still turning
right, and then out the gate to the glue factory,
Yeah.
or the hamburger place across the street there. But now you got this beautiful guitar with the mother of pearl inlay in there. How long have you had this guitar?
This was a Yamaha. My mom used to work for Yamaha.
Oh, okay.
She was a senior analyst, Virginia.
Now, didn't she also test out the fast bikes like the 1200s and
maybe on the computer she did.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, she would get the prototypes and stuff like that. So this is a 1977 Yamaha.
Wow, that's older than me.
Huh? Anyway, and it's just one of my favorites because it's got a good sound and stuff.
Now Kevin Valinsky, he's doing a great job holding up the malt shaker there. There's a CD over there, I think, to your left. Your other left? There you go.
Oh, okay.
I thought there was.
Oh yeah, we put out a CD.
It's right there.
It is right behind us.
Right behind you.
Okay.
See, there's that handsome young guy right there.
That's great.
Yeah, see, we're all set here. So here is the CD that Jeff made.
Yeah, we made it last year, and I wrote all the songs except "Hail to the Redskins." And then if you turn it over, on the back there is my good friend Jack Roddy, that was a world champion cowboy. He was a steer wrestler, won the world championship about 3 times, and he sings his favorite old ballad called "Little Joe the Wrangler." So he does a good job with that. And then a couple of the songs I think are pretty good, and we've had a lot of fun with it. And it's like a very serious hobby, Lou. So I enjoy it. We have a country band. We play different venues. We're going to be playing Phil Trainees here at the end of September. So look for that.
All right.
Yeah.
That should be fun. I have to get a reminder.
I tell people, I said I listen to country music. I don't need a shrink. I listen to country music. And, some of the great songs like "She Was Only the Farmer's Daughter, but All the Horsemen Knew Her." I bought the shoes that are walking out on me. It's fun. You can understand country music, and they always tell us.
You never call me by my name.
Yeah.
Love that song, David Allen Coe.
Yeah.
So speaking of a little therapy, why don't you give us one?
Okay, this is a song. That's the first song on the album. Called "Packing Out of Texas," and it's about a cowboy that works for this guy that abuses his wife.
Jeff Severson live on Lunch with Legends.
I'm packing out of Texas with the only horse that I own. I'm riding hard and fast. I gotta make old Mexico. Well, I gotta make tracks. He's on my back. Loved his wife. Now he wants my life. I was the top hand of the 3 bar. I used to break the young colts. Boss man's wife, Miss Julie. Well, he beat her like them colts that I broke. Now I gotta make tracks. He's on my back. Loved his wife. Now he wants my life. I gotta turn this horse around. She's the only love I'll ever know. Now I'm facing his posse. I pull my gun a little slow. Then I heard a rifle crack. She shot him in the back. Saved my life. Now I'll make her my wife.
Yeah.
Packing out of Texas. How about that?
I love it. Love it. That's got a good ending.
Of course,
a
we got a great fiddle player in there too.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
anyway.
I've seen the band there at Phil Trainees.
Yeah.
So what day?
Band of Indians. Yeah. Cowboys and Indians.
So when are you going to be at Phil Trainees?
September 28th, and we love to play at Phil's because we know half the people there, and then with Kevin's Facebook, we get the other half coming out. And we love Phil's food, and we love Phil, as you know.
Oh yeah,
Phil,
all
he's
the
probably
gals.
the original sports restaurant and bar from San Pedro. We went back there when we were in college at Long Beach State, which we won a championship there too. Beat San Diego State's best team ever. So that was a great time, and that's why I've stayed in Long Beach. I said, you know, the weather's great, the people are great, and we're not Hollywood, and we're not Newport Beach. We're a good town. So.
Yeah, that's right. It certainly is a nice place. And Phil Trainees is Long Beach Boulevard and Wardlow, just 1 block north of the 405.
Yes.
And Facebook them. They're Phil Trainees Fine Food and Spirits. And
calamari, and there's seafood, and there's pasta, and there's steaks. Outstanding.
The pot roast.
Maybe a glass of wine, you know, like that there.
Just one.
Just one.
That's right. But yeah, everywhere you go in the country, at least for me, it's like the measuring stick. You go somewhere and like the calamari, and you have it somewhere else. It doesn't matter if it's at the Waldorf or at Ivers up in Seattle. It's like it ain't Phil's.
Yeah.
But so now, is performing? Are you going to want to continue to do that? And,
we like to do
singing?
special events. I put on a fall gathering. It's called Cowpoke Fall Gathering, much like Elko deal. It's a 3-day weekend up in Loomis, California, and I've been doing that for 5 years. And it is a great event. I MC it and play my guitar, and we've had Michael Martin Murphy and Rusty Richards from the Sons of the Pioneers, and Baxter Black, the cowboy comedian, and it's 3 days of wonderful time in November. Cowpoke Fall Gathering.
Did you say Asleep at the Wheel is there also? Or?
No, it's mostly about a 200 audience, and it's real intimate. A lot of storytellers and some music, but it's grassroots cowboy stuff. Stuff you won't hear on the radio. People ask me, they say, "Who do you listen to?" I said, "Not anything that you've heard." I mean, I like the people like Rusty Richards, Sons of the Pioneers, Dave Stamey, and Tom Russell. All those guys are really down to grassroots type cowboy music, which is what I like.
And when is that again?
It's in November. It's called if you Google Cowpoke Fall Gathering, you'll see who's headlining it, and it's a 3-day poetry and music, and it's fabulous. A beautiful venue at this. They renovated this old packing shed, and it's gorgeous, 2-story and it's quite a nice event. I'm having a ball doing that.
Great. Well,
so that's what I like to do, special events and things like that. And we got a little 4-piece band that's very good. Steve Deming, who was Cowboy Poet of the Year last year, and Buddy Mercer on guitar, and Paul McDonald on fiddle. So it's a nice sound.
Okay. So when time comes, where just before you leave for that event, why don't you come on? We'll promo it again.
Great.
And
I think this is a great thing. You know, I think it's good to talk to ex-players and things like that, how as they reflect back on what it was like, because what you experienced as a player and what you see now and hear now is a whole different ball game. And you know, that TV up there has made the game just great. I mean, it's put money in everybody's pocket. But the guys that were our vintage, I was 71 through 79. You know, the pension is still lagging, and the NFL should increase that. We have a collective bargaining coming up in a couple of years, so hopefully they'll take care of the older guys, even older than me. So.
Oh yeah, well, I mean there are some that are older.
Hey, I can't hear you. Let me turn my hearing aid up.
No, absolutely. I've carried that banner as well. Because of some of the guys that are from the Super Bowl Steelers. Who was the center that I think he was homeless.
Oh yeah, the concussion movie and stuff. We were playing. We're playing Billy Kimball's golf tournament. We're sitting around having a beer afterwards. You'll love this story. The old backup quarterback from the Colts and the Miami Dolphins, Earl Morrill. And we're sitting having a beer, and Earl says, "I played 22 years. The only guy who played more was Blanda with Oakley. He played 23 years." And he said he played 22 years at the star position of quarterback. He said, "In 1 week, Dan Marino made more money than I made my whole career." Now, is that in 1 week? Marino's paycheck was more than he made for 22 years. So that puts things in perspective.
Right, yeah. So yeah, I think it should with the TV deals and the billions of dollars that are going on out there. Gosh, even 1% of that went into the old timers fund or the alumni fund. That would take care of you guys and put it in. Well, heck, they should get you to invest it in real estate or something.
Well, I don't think any of us are begging. It's just we are the lowest retirement of all of them. But just get us up to speed with everybody else, because the money's there.
Yeah.
And it is now the #1 sport. I would think in terms of economics.
Right. So. Yeah. Well, do you want to play us out with another song?
Well, we did one that the last time you kind of jumped in on. I kind of grabbed this from the Blues Brothers.
Oh yeah.
I said, hey, 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 yeah.
Hey, 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 yeah.
I said, hey, hey, yeah.
Hey, hey, yeah.
Come on, everybody, take a trip with me.
Come on, everybody, take a trip with me.
Down to Mississippi, down to New Orleans.
Down to Mississippi, down to New Orleans.
They got a honeysuckle blooming on that honeysuckle vine.
Honeysuckle in the honeysuckle vine.
Love is blooming there all the time. Every Southern belle is a Mississippi queen. Down to Mississippi, down to New Orleans. I said, hey, yeah.
Hey, hey, yeah, yeah.
I said, you got Rodney Allen Rippy coming up next.
When is he gonna harmonize with us?
He's bringing his Jack in the Box any old time.
With his buns and the big giant patties.
Rodney Allen Rippy's there all the time.
Hey.
Every Southern belle is a Mississippi queen. Down to Mississippi, down to New Orleans. I said, hey, yeah.
Hey, hey, yeah.
I said, hey,
Awesome.
Kicking it in there.
All right. How's it going? How's it going, guys?
Better now that you're here.
Good to be here.
Jeffrey,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
And continued success with
Thank
the show.
you.
And you got guys like this on, you're going to make.
Well, you're going to help me get some football players in as well,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
We'll get Vince Ferragamo in here. We'll
Vince
get
would be
Bobby
great.
Rich in here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Vinny's great. We'll bring a straw. He'll probably bring an open bottle of wine that he's
course.
already been.
It's Ferragamo wine.
Yeah,
There you go.
that he grows in Orange Park Acres.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just grab that microphone
Okay.
there. Or you want to stay here?
No, I think it's Rodney's turn.
Okay.
And we met Rodney, and what a
No.
nice guy and what a
No,
great
we're not stopping.
friend. So anyway, thanks a lot, Lew. It was
You
a
got
good
it, buddy.
time.
This is
I don't
live
know if
television.
It is live television.
That's right.
Live.
I thought you had a face for radio there.
I do.
Thank you.
I'm just fooling
Severson,
everybody.
everybody. Give a round of applause.
Yeah.
Man. Wow. Hey.
All right.
Okay, we'll come
Grab
right
that
in
right
there.
there.
You got it. We
Boom.
got it.
All right.
We're in there. We're in there.
Rodney Allen Rippy in the hizzy.
That's right. In the house. How you doing, Lou?
Good to see you.
Man, good to be here.
So you are were the Jack in the Box pitch man or pitch. Was it man or boy? Or,
Well, you know,
or
started
baby?
out baby. Actually, 3.5. That's when I got my start.
Really,
with it.
3.5.
3.5 years old. You know, Long Beach native, right here, beautiful Long Beach, and so that's where it's at.
That's right. So it is the Long Beach show today. We're in an undisclosed location, though.
Oh yeah.
Don't tell anybody.
Oh yeah. Don't know nothing. I don't know where I'm at. Where am I?
We are right here.
Yeah, we're here.
We're right here on Bid Chat, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live
That's
with
right.
Lunch with the Legends. And here he is, right here,
Hey man,
at the Lunch Counter Garage. And
it's all good.
so, what else is going on?
You know, it's just really great to be, with good people and continuing to do a lot of fun things. Right now, I'm in the process of writing an autobiography. Looking forward to maybe releasing this bad boy on July 29th, 2018. That'll be my birthday, so
Wow.
I'm kind of setting that as a goal for myself. And
Well, happy birthday.
yeah, hey, belated. Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
good. It's
Our
good.
birthdays are in the same month there. So.
There you go. Leo's rock.
Well, Cancer, but
Well,
that's
Cancer, Leo was close,
Yeah, right on the cuspices.
Right on the cusp, yep. And really excited about an event that you had brought up earlier.
Oh, well,
I'm-
let's
yeah,
tell us.
I'm celebrity spokesperson for an organization, great organization called Prime Motivation. And Prime Motivation is leading the charge on vocational programs for kids. A lot of people don't realize, and many do. Back in the day, there was wood shop and metal shop and stained glass and home ec, and the arts are really suffering. And they've been taking all these programs out of the schools, and so many young people nowadays just don't have the hands-on knowledge, because let's be real, some youth will go to college, some will not, and they need to have solid opportunities as well.
Right.
And so Prime Motivation's leading the charge, and we're doing a big event on September 8th in the city of Long Beach. It's going to be held at the Salvation Army location, and it is just fantastic. I mean, the most important thing is, we got great partners and people all coming together. Big shout out to some big VIPs coming in, like John Morton from Pirelli World Challenge. Man, we've got Jim Jordan. Oh, I'm sorry, forgive me. Jim Jordan from Pirelli World Challenge. And we also have John Morton, big Nissan race car driver. He's coming out to share his time. Wolford Menace, he is former vice president of Intel. He's going to be there. And, we're just excited about sharing vocational opportunities as far as what can happen for young kids nowadays. And we're trying to take this tour all throughout Southern California, and we're very excited about September 8th.
Yeah, that's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we're trying to work out to do our Lunch with Legends at that event.
I would be Lou, to have you there, it would be such an honor, because it's people like you who, you're a veteran in broadcast. You understand, and so many young kids don't have that voice. And we're looking forward to being able to do things like, you know, Prime Motivation. Another component of Prime Motivation, me and a colleague, his name's Dan Pettigrew. He's from Clear Channel Radio back in the day.
Yeah, they fired me once or twice.
There you go. But hey, you know, they're now iHeart. They're out there. But we're looking at starting a radio broadcast program called the Teen Day Broadcast Program.
Wow,
And
that would be cool.
Teaching young kids the mechanics of being a broadcaster.
That's right, because there's so many opportunities, not just being on the air, but making sure that things are running right, and engineers, good engineers,
That's right.
are not easy to find, and they get paid very well.
And you've got an incredible crew here. I mean, you've got camera guys. We've got a switcher over here. I mean,
Yeah,
it don't get no better than that.
Tim Greenwood of Magnolia Street Productions
Magnolia.
providing everything for us. He's got the whole production truck in a box.
It's amazing.
It
and,
is.
And people don't realize that you could do amazing broadcasts if you just have that know-how.
Right, and Tim can do everything. He can start with a can of glue
Yep.
and a piece of metal
Yep.
and make all of this stuff.
There you go.
And then he can sit right here and host this and be his own guest.
That's right.
how great Tim Greenwood is.
That's right.
He's just amazing. So I
Yeah.
want to thank him for coming here and helping us out today.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully that we can maybe put some of that technology wizardry into the program. Prime motivation.
Yeah, we really, and that's what it's all about. It's about the arts, the automotive, the technology, and I mean, we want to be able to incorporate so many things. We're reaching out to the Long Beach Unified School District. The goal is to raise funds through this to actually do a tour through every high school, and not only just here in Long Beach, but we want to take it, around the whole state of California and beyond.
Well, that's great. Without wood shop, I wouldn't have the know-how or the skills that I do. I got a little shop in my garage and making planners right now, but being able to know what tools to use and the cuts and everything else, and my brother took metal shop, and in between he's a trucker.
Yeah.
So there's schools for that, but I mean there's no universities for that. But with the metal shop skills, he can work on his own truck.
That's right.
And he's also an artist with a welder. He makes things out of old car parts.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that if you have a core skill, you'll never go hungry. I mean, a guy that knows woodworking, with all of the construction that's booming, I mean, you can take your skill and you literally can survive off of it. And that's what vocational training is all about. Great people out there like Mike Rowe, he's been all up in Congress and talking about it, and we concur. We feel the same way, and we're looking forward to doing some great things. I'm still working on entertainment projects. I'm co-executive producer of the Country Soul Music Awards.
Wow.
And so, that's, going to honor people like Ronnie Millsap and Winona Judd and Darius Rucker and Lionel Richie. These are country soul singers. Aaron Neville, these are all country soul singers. And so between that, we're excited about the projects ahead and just hanging out, having a good time.
That's what it's all about.
Yep.
And doing something positive for the community and positive for yourself, and
we must.
having a great time.
We must. I mean, life's too fun, and I think about, how blessed I've been, starting my career at the age of 3.5, and having worked with the greats like Johnny Carson and Merv Griffin and Mel Brooks and Sammy Davis Jr. and George Burns.
My
I
favorite.
mean, I can go on and on and on. And I mean, a lot of times people ask me, Rodney, how was it? Are you tired of people talking about it? I'm like, let me tell you something. That was the greatest, time, and I look back on it and I still meet great people and people remember, and, it was just, I feel so blessed that I had that opportunity.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, you said Mel Brooks.
Yep.
So you were in Blazing
Saddles. That's right. I was in Blazing Saddles, and I mean, if you could only imagine, that cast, and They were constantly laughing. I mean, they would be in the middle of taping, and they couldn't hold it together. They just crack up, and they'd have to start over and over and over. And I mean, but that's a good production, you know.
Well, that was one of the first films, I think, that had outtakes at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah.
And some of that stuff is funnier than the movie.
Exactly. And Mel Brooks, he is a genius. I am so hoping that, you know, he does a remake of Blazing Saddles, because I want to play Black Bart. Because I played him when I was a little baby, and I would love, man, I would let it loose for that. I'm telling you, oh, I would be as crazy as Mel would take it, man.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, you told a story about Mel Brooks and your relationship. He must have just loved you.
Oh, yeah. Great guy. You know, I was at a Grammy. It was actually in a special event at the Grammy Museum, and Carl Reiner was there. And they were re-honoring them for the 2,000-year-old man.
Yeah.
And even at their age, they were still sharp. And they started bantering back and forth, just freestyling. And it was crazy. Everybody was dying, laughing, and just having a great time. And so at the end of the event, everyone was leaving and going their different directions. And so I was sitting on the front row, and I guess he just didn't recognize me because it's been so many years. And so I went out a side door, and he just happened to turn in my direction. And I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, Mel, how you doing?" I said, "It's me, Rodney. Rodney Allen Rippy." He goes, "Oh my gosh!" And he just flipped out, and you know, and it was just so nice to see him after all these years, and you know, the people that I've worked with, you know, from the old school to some of the new guys, you know, like Adam Sandler and David Spade. You know, we worked on a project, you know, Dickie Roberts, and it was just really cool, and just it's keeping it alive, man. And this industry never stops. There's always something new. There's always new idea and great people, and that's why I'm glad we're here. You know. Yeah,
and you've survived all this time, and you still enjoy doing it. A lot of people just shrug their shoulders and just, I'm just gonna go in the house and just watch TV the rest of my life.
Well, you know, the entertainment industry and music and all of these, it's so creative, you know, and I'm sure, we know some of the same people, and when you get into an industry like that, it's not like something that you just shrug off, you know, just like Mr. Severson, just playing the guitar like that, he loves it, you know, he loves performing, and he's a performer, and it's just, when it's in your bones, it's in your bones, you know. Sure.
I mean, when you wear those tidy whities out there.
There you go.
And, you know.
That's it. You're on your own.
You're on your own, man. Just hoping all the flavor stays in.
There you go. That's it. You have to do it. Keep the flavor in.
That's it, please.
There you go.
But it's like a drug. I mean, if you have to do something else for a living to keep the roof over your head, there isn't a minute that goes by if you see something or hear something,
right?
It's like, God,
you want to be there. I would have done
this or I would have done that. You know?
Yeah, it's hard. You know, when you're in the film industry, when you watch films nowadays, you kind of go, should I go or should I stay? Should I finish this film? But at the same time, you know, you look at it and you check out the artistic approach, and so, but it's good, you know, and it's always fun.
And Jeff and you and I were talking about being in the business so long, you get residual checks that the paper's worth more than what you're getting.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, but sometimes you can get lucky. You know, there was I was in a film that became a box set, you know, and you open the door and you're like, wow, I'm on a box. What's going down? What is this? I'm like, all right, you know, that'll make your day feel good.
Absolutely,
you know? Yeah. And you know, it's funny. I've talked to people, and they've talked about these residual checks, and I'm like, you know what? Look, I've been getting these residual checks for 45 years. And I'm like, what can you can't complain about that. It's like lottery. You know, you go and open your mail, and you got a bill, and you go, got a SAG check.
Yeah, exactly.
What is this? Aha! I'll put gas in my car today.
There you go.
It's all good.
Are you still getting residuals for Jack in the Box?
Well, actually, I get residuals for shows like The Odd Couple.
Oh, okay.
$6 Million Man and Police Story and Dr. Welby, MD, and
Man, those were all great shows.
Yeah, very good
back in the
shows.
70s.
And I hope that the industry kind of goes back to some of those great episodics. And I mean, everybody was working. Great writers, great producers, and it's a cool time. Hopefully we'll see some new good things come out of the industry.
And there's something on YouTube that you showed us. It was was it the Grammys or with one of the Osmond brothers or Michael Jackson?
Yeah, it was actually the very first American Music Awards. If you go online and you you go to YouTube and you type in Rodney Allen Rippy and put Michael Jackson, you'll actually see the actual clip from Dick Clark Productions, and it's the very first American Music Awards. So it was me, Michael Jackson, Donny Osmond, and Ricky Siegel from the Partridge Family.
Wow.
Great guy. And so it was kind of, Dick Clark thought it would be really funny to have us go out together. And so Ricky looked like a miniature Donnie and I looked like a miniature Michael, so it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I'll bet it was.
Yeah.
And then the cutest thing about it is you guys are looking at the card and you say, I can't read. So
Yeah. Dick Clark, he didn't think so much about it. He just thought, I got this great idea, and he threw us into the production, but he never thought we couldn't read it. So when it came time to read the nominees, I was like, I can't read. And I have this whole sea of people waiting for me, and I was like, I can't read. So it was pretty traumatizing, but it was good.
But yeah, well now it's still hilarious, but it's just so cute.
Yep.
So how did you learn your lines then?
You know what? From the very first Jack in the Box commercial, it was actually ad-lib. And again, you can go on YouTube and type in my name and hit Jumbo Jack, and you'll see the very first, my audition. Actually, that started my career with Jack in the Box. And I had a commercial campaign that ran for 14 years.
Wow, 14 years?
14 years. And the Academy of Television Arts and Science gave me an award for having one of the greatest commercials in the past 50 years.
All right.
There you go, man.
I don't even think my commercials ran for 14 minutes. But
It's all
pull
good.
that right out.
There you go. It's okay. Hey, you're in there.
That's true. But
There you go.
So any other projects that are on the table that you want to talk about?
I'm looking forward to having more opportunities. I actually just met with he actually is the film commissioner for Belize, believe it or not. And so they have kind of like a travel and food show, and so hopefully I'll be taking a trip to Belize to go down and have a little sun and fun and do a little production in Belize.
Why don't you take us with you?
Hey, I might need to take the crew.
Yeah, you got a crew right here.
We
You got the
a
production
crew.
thing in the box.
Hey,
We got our suave singer over there.
there we go. Hey, we need to do this thing.
We got Vern. He can work out all the get us out of jail.
There you go. Hey, man, we got everything we need. We're in good shape. So hopefully we got some good projects, and I look forward to opportunities and getting out and getting back into the industry and getting back in front of the camera a little bit.
Yeah, well, I think you should.
Yeah.
It hasn't been the same without you.
Oh, well, it's good to be back, man.
Yeah.
Good to be here with you.
So what about the shows? The landscape of television has changed so much from 3 channels
Oh, yeah.
now to 57 channels and nothing's on, as
Right.
the Bruce Springsteen. And now the internet, there's another nothing on here, Lunchtime with Legends.
Hey, but you know what? It's guys like you, because you're filling that space. All of these new digital channels and these new networks that are popping up, it makes place for people like us. Place for people like you with great shows, like hanging out with the legends.
Yeah.
We're here, at the lunch counter, and people get to really see new content. You've got exclusive content here that's not anywhere else. It's
That's
right
true.
here, hanging with Lew. There you go.
That's it, Lunch with Legends, and we're
right.
just about ready to close things out, aren't we? We have 10 minutes left to go. Do want to show? Can we want to show some of the a couple of cars from the lunch counter garage? I don't know. Can we swing a camera around?
Beautiful stuff. Oh,
Well, actually, if you want to just swing it right there, this Metropolitan right here.
breathtaking. Wow.
Or even the blue car. Okay, the monitor there. Yeah, that's an amphibious car, kind of like one used in Get Smart.
There you go.
And you can see the propeller down below underneath the lights there. And so the lunch counter garage, it's a beautiful private collection. And I want to thank the owners and operators of the lunch counter garage. So there's lots of things going on here too. A lot of philanthropy going on. So I want to thank them. Also, I want to thank Jeff Severson. We'll get him back in here to do a couple of things. And there's a beautiful Oldsmobile, 1950 Oldsmobile called Red Wine. And as soon as we can get Rick, the auto mechanic, the head auto mechanic, he's so busy that he hasn't been able to come out. He changes the oil on each and every one of these.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot of oil.
Yeah, a lot of oil.
A lot of oil.
So we're also working on future guests. We talked about getting Bobby Grich, Vince Ferragamo, some other people from the Angels and the Dodgers, and maybe from the Lakers, and gosh, from Long Beach State, some of the athletes there, even Misty May Trainer. She's kind of agreed to come on. I think we're going to have to go to Long Beach City College and do the show from there because she's the head volleyball coach, and she's pregnant with twins.
Pregnant? That's good.
And I think she's going to take, like, what'd she say at the Long Beach Century Club? She's going to take a day off to have the kids and then come back.
Amazing.
Yeah, with the twins. And she reminds me of a gal that I coached in a women's softball, fast pitch softball. She was a little bitty thing, and she was as big as a truck, and out there waddling around second base, and I wanted to take her out because I thought, well, something, short hops her, and but she was a vacuum cleaner.
There you go.
And she says, if you take me out, I'm going to beat the crap out of you. And I said, okay,
goodness.
all right.
Wow.
So she went into her 8.5 month, and then their doctor said, you're still playing ball?
No more ball for you.
No more ball. So then I don't think we won a game either because she was that good. But anyway, I digress. Jeff, you want to play us out?
Sure.
Couple more songs.
Hey man, it's been good. I'm gonna give Jeff his seat back.
Well,
no, stay there, Rodney.
stay there.
Okay.
He's gonna sit in your lap.
No, that's a big guy with a big guitar. He can't fit in my lap. Big guy, big guitar.
So Rodney Allen Rippy.
There we go.
Prime Motivation.
That's it.
And the Salvation Army. Give us the address again.
Again, that's going to be at 3060 Long Beach Boulevard. That's going to be September 8th. And the event's going to go from 12 to 6 p.m. Come by, say hello.
Be there or be square.
Be there, be square.
Yeah. Or you can be square and still go there.
Yeah, you go. Or you can be square and just make a donation. There you go.
And the Hot Wheels.
And we're excited also, too. We've got the legendary Larry Wood. He is one of the original Hot Wheels designers. For 40 years, this guy was making Hot Wheels and designing them. He's going to be there. Awesome, Larry Wood. He'll be doing autographs.
Awesome. That's great. And then also, again, we want to thank Jeff Severson. Don't call him Severson.
There you go.
For coming in. And this is his. How can we get copies of this? We have to go around the bars in Long Beach and see if you're there.
California Cowboy Band.
Okay, California Cowboy Band.
That's our band. Jeff Severson and the California Cowboy Band. And,
okay.
We shot that up in San Pedro. That deal.
There it is.
Yeah, cool.
Anyway.
There's a corral there, and there's a barn in San Pedro.
There you go.
Oh, it's not San Pedro. What I say? I'm Palos Verdes.
Palos Verdes. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So what song should we go
Rodney
out
was
with?
talking about some of those good old stuff. So a little Fats Domino, maybe.
Fats Domino. Go
Sure.
Fats.
Josephine, Josephine.
Josephine, Josephine.
How do you do?
How do you
Do you remember me, girl?
do? Do you remember me?
Like I remember you.
Like I remember
You
you.
used to cry a lot.
Ooh.
And all the woo, woo, woo. Josephine, Josephine, Josephine. By the railroad track.
By the railroad tracks.
Walk you home.
Used to walk you home.
Carry you on my back.
Babe, when you are
off my back. Get off of my back. Get off my back.
What do you think of that?
What do you think of that?
Josephine, Josephine.
Josephine, Josephine.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Do you remember me, gal?
Do you remember me?
Like I remember you.
Like I remember you.
You used to cry a lot
Used to cry a lot.
and holler woo woo woo.
Woo, woo, woo.
Pick it out, Willie.
Yeah. All right.
But it reminds me, you know, it was funny when you were talking about Blazing Saddles, which a lot of people in the history don't know that. But didn't Richard Pryor write a lot of that?
Yeah, actually, Richard was supposed to play the lead for Cleavon
Right.
Little, and it got switched, and so Cleavon took the role and and did a fantastic job with
Yeah,
it.
they all that casting was perfect.
Oh,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was perfect.
But I
Flawless.
mean, and we got to be able to laugh at ourselves too.
That's
I mean,
right. That's
the
right.
jokes and stuff like that, and that's really what it was done for. Because,
That's right.
Because we got to laugh at ourselves. We don't
Tongue in
have,
cheek,
Oh,
man.
absolutely.
Tongue in cheek.
and but it's a classic.
Yeah.
It
Hopefully,
sure is.
and hopefully Mel will do it again.
Oh, the Camptown lady, 5 miles long,
Doo-dah, doo-dah.
Camptown lady.
Exactly.
But no, that was a great movie.
Oh,
Sure was. Alex Karras knocking out the horse.
that was a great,
Yeah.
great film. A lot of people, and it's timeless. You know, there's still people and they watch it every time. And every time it comes on, I'll get a Facebook message. Say, hey, look, you're on.
That's
wow.
funny. That is funny.
Yep.
And you were supposed to be in the campfire scene, right?
Yeah, actually, that Mel's idea was to have me through every scene, just kind of wandering around in the background. But
Like
as-
Alfred Hitchcock.
Exactly, but as it got edited, I ended up in my one magical scene. But hey, I was just happy to be there, man.
Hey Lou, I wanted to ask Rodney one question.
Sure, go ahead.
When you were just a little tyke, I mean, cute as could be, and had that big smile like he still has today, and that cute little
And they're permanent.
face. What were some of the biggest offers you had during that era when you were a young actor?
Wow,
Child actor.
Actually, I got a great picture. I have to send it to you of me singing the national anthem at the Oakland Raiders football game.
Very cool.
So actually did that. I would love to do it now. You know, after all these years to come back and be able to do that. Actually, it was funny. One of the funniest cool things that happened was I was actually mayor for the day for the city of Los Angeles.
Very cool.
And Mayor Tom Bradley had me to, come up and Tom Bradley says, okay, you're mayor for the day.
And how old were you then?
I was 5. And he proceeds to walk out, leaving his whole staff.
And politics hasn't changed much since then.
Yeah. And so everybody's standing around waiting, and they're like, so, Mayor, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know.
Free hamburgers for everybody.
And he was like,
go to Jack in the Box.
They were like, no, you're the mayor. You can do anything you want to do. I said, anything? They were like, I said, I want to go for a ride in a police car. They were like, the mayor wants to go for a ride in a police car. And now we're going around the base of City Hall
Oh my
with
God.
this huge entourage of police cars and motorcycle
Very cool.
brigade. It was amazing. So we had this.
I got to see that picture.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'll send it to you. And then we ended up going back to City Hall. They're like, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. They're like, you can do anything. I was like, I want some ice cream. The mayor wants ice cream. So now they come in with all these gallons of ice cream, and so the whole staff has ice cream. And we ended up wrapping up the day doing a tour, just kind of an impromptu parade, with me with this big old proclamation riding through the city of Los Angeles.
Good for you.
And I got pictures of this to prove it. So it's fun. That was
So
one
you
of
have
my.
had a parade.
I've had my parade.
You've
Yes.
been the mayor.
Yeah, been the mayor. Yeah, been the mayor. Actually ran for mayor of Compton a few years
did
ago,
you?
a couple
Yeah.
years back. That was a wild ride.
Yeah. I bet you're happy you didn't win.
Glad to be here with Lou.
Oh
Yeah.
boy! All right. Well, Jeff, what about you? What was your biggest role that was offered to you?
I'll tell you one I didn't get.
Okay.
I go up to Hollywood. This was like a third interview. It was a pilot, Rodney, called Gold Coast. It was about an ex-jock that became a private detective. He lived on his boat and the whole 9 yards. And I'm on my third and final comeback, one-on-one with the head guy at Universal
man,
at the
yeah.
top. And then I get a call from Kathy Lee Crosby. She says, Jeff, I hear you got the deal. I said, well, I haven't heard official, but I checked in, and my agent said, just sit tight. Well, the guy that got the part was his uncle, and that was changed. They changed the name of it to Miami Vice.
Oh,
I'd have kept it more Western.
there you
Jeez.
go.
I would have been Tubbs.
There you go. There you go. I
Well,
can
hey,
do-
let's Crockett and Tubbs.
Crockett, yeah, I would do it.
There you go. Well, it's we're being told to get off the air. So I
wrap it.
geez, hate to do that. Are you going to play us off?
I thought I already did.
No. Well, now you really got to just play.
I hear that train a-comin'.
There you go.
It's
We gotta
a-rollin'
roll.
round the bend. We're
For Rodney
wrapping
Allen
up this
Rippy.
show
For
with
Jeff
I'll
Severson,
be again
Kevin
when
Valinsky,
we're
William
stuck
Kidston,
here.
and Magnolia Street Productions and Timothy Greenwood. I'm Lew Stowers saying so long from the Lunch Counter Garage. We'll see you next time with Lunch with Legends.